What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and we are here live for Madden 20 Pink Slips, episode 68. We're on the road to 70. 70 is going to be the finale. It'll be coming up to you guys Tuesday. But here at 68, we got some, house cleaning to do. We got to figure out what's going on as we finish the 2015 season one and done, a positive way to express one and done, with the Carolina Panthers. We took over the Carolina Panthers. They were, I think, the second or third worst team, and we ended up winning the Super Bowl. Now, the only thing that we did that might have slightly tainted this victory is that usually when it gets to the playoffs, I turn on all Madden. We just go to all Madden regardless. I kept it on all pro all the way through. That's the only thing. There was no other cheese. This team outperformed. This team was sensational. Tim Tebow was fun. I'm glad we could have achieved that. Obviously, getting someone like Odell Beckham Jr. in the playoffs was outstanding. But then you got to look at the regular season efforts of Victor Cruz, who really was sensational. 15 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards. We did win Adrian Peterson, knocking off the Hawaii Warriors in the Super Bowl. And, we had great play from the O-line. It wasn't like Tim Tebow got sacked a whole lot. So I'm going to give full kudos to Lane Johnson, Ali Marpet and company. Jimmy Graham was serviceable. You flip to the defense, though. That was, this is really a work art. Outstanding, sensational defense. Daniil Hunter, Aaron Donald, Julius Peppers, and J.J. Watt on that D-line. Led by really these, because we got J.J. Watt about mid-season. So what really was Peppers, Donald, and Hunter. We had Marcus Peters, our first draft pick, our rookie. He was sensational. 5 interceptions. Stephon Gilmore, Honey Badger. You throw in Kason and Earl Thomas. The secondary was elite. Quan Alexander, Bernardrick McKinney running shit from the linebacking core. We had Quan, obviously we drafted him. We got Bernardrick McKinney, much like J.J. Watt, kind of like mid-late season, but really solidified our linebacking core for that playoff push. I'm really happy with this team, man, but it's time to move on. The rules of Pink Slips apply. We win the Super Bowl, we move on. I still had, we need to get a little bit into this week before Madden 21 starts rolling out. So I was like, all right, let's finish this. When we started this, what year was it? 2002? I said I wanted to get to 2020. Now, obviously, I always start this series too late to organically reach the present time. Maybe in Madden 21, I'll tell you right now, for Madden 21, we're going to bring back Pink Slips because it's a staple of the channel. I just want to figure out a way to do it differently. I have an idea what I'm going to do differently, but a lot of it depends on the mods for Madden 21, like when they can hack it. I guess there's some issues where basically all Madden mods kind of start from a FIFA mod, and I guess the FIFA mod's not getting made this year, something like that. So it's probably, the issue with doing any of these modding on PCs is it's usually November, October, November before it's up and running. So it's not like I could start Pink Slips right at the beginning of the Madden 21 cycle. But I might as well talk to you guys about it. The thing that might be different is that they're thinking about redoing the draft classes. A little peek behind the scenes here. Redoing the draft classes so that it's as is in real time. Like, I'm trying to think, like, the best way to explain it would be these draft classes in Flashback Pink Slips. Like, we'll just use Jamarcus Russell because he's the biggest bust of all time. In these draft classes, Jamarcus Russell is reflective of what he went on to do in his career. That's like most of these players. Now, guys aren't overrated. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had someone like, let's get a good example here. Looking at my team, who's a young player. Okay, well, for example, we will say, Daniil Hunter. He's up to an 81, right? But Daniil Hunter started as, I think he was a 68, 67 defensive end. But he had a really good dev trait. So that all kind of compensated. You would assume Daniil Hunter, one of the best edge rushers, if he's in a draft class and you're playing your own, you're like, oh, he should be like a 73, 74 because he's the best edge rusher from the class. These current draft classes that we've been using for the last couple of years in Flashback Pinks are, the players' overalls are scaled a little bit to the round, but if they're really good, they're going to get a good dev trait so that sooner than later, they're going to be reflective of where they were in real life. Well, I think the plan right now for Madden 21, and this is just the plan, is that the draft classes are going to be more reflective of when they actually happen. So let's start to Jamarcus Russell. In Flashback Pink Slips roster, Jamarcus Russell will be, first round draft pick, whatever, number 1 to go. But if you drafted him, he will be 65 normal, right? It's going to be reflective of him being a bust. But I think the plan for Madden 21 is going to make it, he's going to be good in the draft classes. They're going to make the draft classes based upon the player at that time of the draft. How were they regarded? So guys that were bust are going to be, the high-powered draft picks that a lot of people assumed they were going to be. Guys that were late-round steals, they'll probably still come with nice dev traits, but it'll probably be more reflective of where they should be. So late-round studs, Russell Wilson might not have a high overall. It might be hard to grind Russell Wilson. Guys like Antonio Brown might be hard to find and hard to grind and develop. So it's really going to be a little bit more of a realistic approach of what the draft classes actually were in that given time period. So I think that is something that's really different. It's going to give us a different experience. That's the plan right now, but I don't know what's going to really come to fruition. But either way, we've been talking about this for too long. We had to get into it. What's happening, C4? What is going on? You won the Super Bowl with Carolina. Who is going to be your final team? Well, I saw a great suggestion. I think it was, I don't know if it was a YouTube comment or on Twitter, was that there's 5 years left. 2015 to 2020, 2021-ish. I want to catch up to it. Someone said, well, your rebuilds are 5-year rebuilds. So pick a team and finish out this series by doing a realistic rebuild style rebuild. I was like, that's a great idea. What team should I be? And I thought about it. I kind of looked around the league at, who's not good. I looked at some of the worst overalls and everything in between, and I saw one comment that made the most sense. So without further ado, here is going to be the final team in Madden 20 Flashback Pink Slips. Let's go. We're going to go back to where it started. The Houston Oilers, our first team in Madden 20 Flashback Pinks. They kind of suck again. It's really been that length of time. We started in 02. So this is 13 years in that whoever is still on this roster that was there when we were playing for Oilers are super old, on the downswing of their career. And I feel like let's just make it go full circle. So our coach is Ty Cursive. Thank you, Cursive, for this series, man. I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are watching it, I've been in the Madden community for almost 10 years. As a contact, this guy's been able to do and offer more and give me more help than 99% of the people that I've come in contact in this Madden community. So full kudos to Cursive. Go check out the Flashback franchise Discord. I don't even know what it's called anymore. They rebranded it. It's where I post all my draft classes, all my updates. It's a really good spot to be. And again, I appreciate all the work Cursive has done for the Flashback series and what it's done for my channel and everything in between. So he will be our coach as we finish things up here. Now, today's episode will be the off-season and getting everything ready. Tomorrow on Monday, I think I'm going to break it up. One video will be 2 years of a rebuild, and then one video will be 3 years of a rebuild to try to just space it. Like I said, I got to get to Wednesday, boys. Got to get to Wednesday. On Wednesday will be a fun day, but got to get to Wednesday. So today for 68, we are going back to Houston. We're going to get through the draft and set things up for this rebuild. So because I took, this pretty much happens anytime I switch a team, I have no chance at re-signing any of their impending free agents. So now that that's kind of just passed and we're at the free agency point, let's look at our roster, our starting roster here for the Houston Oilers. I wonder how many guys are still here. So we have Eli Manning. They have Eli Manning and Jameis Winston as our quarterbacks, but definitely Eli Manning, our first franchise quarterback. He's been here really since the beginning. It's good to be back. How has he been doing since we left? As you can see, we were playing very well with Eli Manning, and then once we left, he started to regress kind of to the Eli Manning in real life. Had a big 2014, 33 touchdowns, 29-8 last season, but, very old. He's 35. Luckily enough, we're using Savo's franchise mod. Another full shout out to him, man. He does awesome work. Players don't just retire, they don't regress brutally. So Eli Manning's still a 90 overall, very much our starting quarterback. But, it's good to know that over the next 5 years, if something happens, we might have a chance to develop Jameis Winston into something. Running back, we have Jerick McKinnon as our starter. He's a 75 overall with a star dev, elusive back, fits the scheme. Mike Gillespie, Florida Gator. I like seeing that. Generally speaking, though, trying to start to get an idea of where we want to go in the draft. Running back, definitely at least, Jerick McKinnon, in my opinion, probably better as a running back rotation, running back committee. So maybe if we can draft another running back, that'd be dope. Wide receiver, we have Pierre Garçon still doing his thing here. He was with us when we were with the Houston Oilers. What has he been doing? A little bit of a late career resurgence. Back-to-back three straight 1,000-yard seasons. Yes, sir. We got Davante Adams as our game-changing wide receiver on the outside. Did he actually look like that? That's not a great face. I'm pretty sure I know what he looks like. Maybe that's a little bit of a harsh face scan. But Davante Adams, he's been 2 years in the league. He's pretty solid so far. We still got Anquan Boldin, another original member of the Houston Oilers, entering year 13. He was really solid for us. He's been consistent. You know, he's been consistent. That's good to see. Jason Witten, yes, another one of the OGs. Jason Witten is still doing his thing. 80 overall superstar X Factor. As he's also going to year 13. Again, very consistent. Those are really solid numbers here for Jason Witten. Offensive line, we got Nate Solder, Zane Beadles, Stefan Wisniewski, a couple Philadelphia Eagles right there, and Wiz and Vanderveld. Julian Vanderveld, I swear to God, got cut and re-signed for the Eagles practice squad like 50 times in his career. We have Dwayne Brown. Okay, we have a legit right tackle, franchise tackle here in Dwayne Brown, 31, 88 superstar. So look at the O-line. You know, we're probably okay. We could get by with Solder, and obviously Dwayne Brown's a really good tackle. Guard, might want to improve guard. I think Wiz at center is fine, but guard is a position we definitely want to try to improve. At defense, we got Tank Carradine, Trent Cole still doing his thing, superstar X Factor fearmonger. Is he still playing at a high level? He's never really played at a really high level. That's a little. I mean, though, there's some solid years there. Look at that: 20 TFLs, 16-5, 12-7. That's not bad. But he's coming off a sack-and-a-half season. That's not great. I'll be honest with you. If we don't draft one, he'll probably still be our starter because Trent Cole's one of my most favorite and underrated Eagles of all time. Right defensive end, we have Zadarius Smith, who kind of in real life didn't really blow up to his final year with Baltimore, and then he went off, cashed out with the Packers, and was one of the better edge rushers in the National Football League. But it took him a bit, and clearly this is reflective of it. We have Gerald McCoy at D tackle, 85 superstar. He's nice. Is he our best D lineman? Is he actually playing well? He's coming off his best year. 56 tackles, 12 TFLs, 7.5 sacks. Derek Wolf's there. Shout out to his girlfriend. We have David Harris. I think he was a guy we got in our last year as a Houston, but he's been here for a while, man. And he's now, I guess, an edge rusher with those types of numbers. Cool. But, I mean, obviously playing at a very high level. They got Luke Kuechly. That's nice. That's a huge get for this defense, for me taking them over. Tackle machine. He's a beast. Maybe not as good as Luke Kuechly in real life. Those stats are always going to be pretty tough to replicate. But there we go. There's a stud. There's a stud that we don't have to worry about. Jordan Hicks, another Philadelphia. A lot of Eagles on this team. Jordan Hicks, solid. I'm happy with that linebacker core. I don't think that's a position we need to touch right now. Obviously, David Harris, a little bit older over the time being. There's probably our first position group. I don't really think I need to touch them. Unless, there's something that's too good to be true, or too good to be true. Unless there's something that's too good to be true in the draft, I'm going to probably keep those the linebackers as is. We have 2 corners on the roster. DJ Hayden, who's kind of been, wasn't he a first-round bust? I think he's been solid. I don't know. I think he went to Jacksonville, but he was drafted really, really high. I don't know if it was the first round. I think it was with the Raiders, but either way, he's 72. But we got Kyle Fuller, 81 superstar, young player, getting ready to enter his prime, 24. So that's good to have at least one corner that we can kind of build around. No safeties, and at strong safety, Jaquiski Tart, who's actually fairly solid for the San Francisco 49ers, but he's 71, normal dev. That's a tough sell. Right now, that's looking like a depth guy. Maybe someone you can move to linebacker if you really want to get creative. But safety, we got to go all in. Janikowski was our kicker. He retired. We have Andy Lee, one of the best punters in the league, 84 superstar. And we have a top 10 pick. We pick at number 10. So that's good. I mean, we have no scouting done. So our usual rules that we apply to pink slips drafting is going to kind of be thrown out the window. We'll just take it as is, which is pretty good. Should have a fun draft class. 4 free agents. I mean, I don't like spending a whole lot of money on free agents. I feel it's a little cheesy, a little greasy. But let's just kind of see who's there. Quincy Carter continues just to be murder for hire. Whatever team he goes to is always going on a deep playoff run. Brady's there. Tony Romo. We got Ben Roethlisberger at running back. There's some guys here. Lamar Miller, Alfred Morris. The only position, Julio Jones. Oh, man, my God. Philly Eagles just didn't re-sign anyone. Ooh. That could be a... Why not? Let's throw him a little bit of money. Oh, he got a lot of money. I mean, there's no salary cap. I think I do want Josh Gordon. There's no salary cap, so let's just make a competitive offer here. They were number 1. We're good at tight end. Gronk's there. On the offensive line at guard, I could use a guard, but I'd rather just, it's pink slips. I don't want to just sign everybody. Kyle Long would be nice. I do like Kyle Long, but it is what it is. Jason Peters is still there, but I want to get a corner. My point is, I don't want to sign anyone, but the fact that we only have 2 corners on the roster, I don't want to just have to draft my whole draft being corners. So, while there's some very nice players here, I'm not going to I could just straight up sign Honey Badger if I wanted to. Because this is now a rebuild, man. It's now a rebuild. It's not necessarily pink slips. But I feel like that's... No, there's no bids on it. Screw it. I'm going to do this guilt-free. There needs to be some form of a rebuild. And if there's a rebuild right now, and I'm looking at my team, and Honey Badger's there, I'm going to sign Honey Badger. Now, the fact that there's no salary cap, I think, we need safeties bad. Ooh, we can get Seabass. I want him back here. Give him a 3-year, whatever. We could have signed way more players. We could have went crazy. I think we were very much keeping things, in a good spot. Because I could have just straight up signed Julio Jones, J.J. Watt, Gronk, Levante David, and just made it, a joke. No challenge whatsoever. But I think getting, obviously Josh Gordon, I don't even know if he's going to play. That's more so I just want Josh Gordon on my team. Honey Badger, I think that's justifiable. We got 1 free agent. Now we're going to have to go kind of in blind for the draft and trying to get this Houston Oilers team back to where it needs to be sooner than later. Nice. Able to get both Josh Gordon and Honey Badger. I assume Seabass probably wants $8 more million because he's a fiend. We'll figure that out. Let's get ready for the 2016 draft. All right, so we were here for the 2016 draft. To get an idea of what draft this was, just a refresher, it's a stacked draft. Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Joey Bosa, Zeke Elliott, Jalen Ramsey, Ronnie Stanley, DeForest Buckner, Conklin. Really, 8 of the top 10. Maybe not Conklin. No, you throw them in there. At least 7 of the top 10. Studs. Can't miss play. I guess Jared Goff's still open for debate there. But generally speaking, it's a really, really good first round. You got Laramie Tunsil outside of the top 10. Taylor Decker, Keanu Neal, Will Fuller. Got some speed there. Kenny Clark's a beast. So there's more than enough talent. You go in the second round, Jalen Smith, Hunter Henry, Miles Jack. You got Chris... There's a lot of talent. We're going to be pretty much happy with whoever we can pick at 10. I will say, if we're being a little bit biased, I would love a Bosa or a Ramsey. If I had to be, maybe hell, I would even take Buckner at D tackle. I'd take Buckner and move him to D tackle. So let's kind of see how it's going to go. We pick at 10. Number 1 pick belongs to the Cleveland Browns, and at pick number 1, they select Carson Wentz. That was actually the scenario. Philly traded up with Cleveland to get Wentz because Cleveland passed on Carson Wentz. And I think 90% of people in Cleveland would rather Carson Wentz than probably Baker Mayfield. I don't know. That's the right feeling. I just feel like a lot of people actually hate Baker Mayfield if you're a Brown fan. Either way, moving on. Pick 2, New Orleans gets Joey Bosa, Big Bear at Ohio State. Pick 3, 49ers get Jalen Ramsey, of course. Too good to be true. Pick 4, the Giants get Zeke Elliott. There's awesome. That's not weird looking. Pick 5, Minnesota select DeForest Buckner. Pick 6, Dolphins get Leonard Floyd. Pick 7, Ronnie Stanley off the board to the Bucks. Pick 8 to the Detroit Lions. They got Vernon Hargreaves. Lions have had pretty bad luck drafting my Florida Gators lately. Hopefully, maybe he doesn't turn out to be a bust. Pick 9, the Jets select Sheldon Rankins. So here we are at pick 10, Houston Oilers. How are we going to kick things off? Well, I'll straight up pick whoever the hell I want. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to go past the second round, but let's just look at the second round. Make sure I'm not missing someone in the second round that clearly, I'm happy with our linebackers because I would love Deion Jones. They got Michael Thomas at wideout. That's probably a stud pick. Derrick Henry at running back. I want a running back. I really do want a running back. What are the chances Derrick Henry's still there? Probably not great. Xavier Howard at corner. Chris Jones at D tackle. Miles Jack. I'm good at linebackers, so we don't need that. Jalen Smith would be a great pick. Now, going back in the first round, Kenny Clark at D tackle. Will Fuller at wideout. Keanu Neal, strong safety. Ooh, it might have to be Keanu Neal. I think in terms of positions that we really need. Don't need a quarterback, right? Tunsil at tackle. So really, you got Michael Thomas at wideout, but we have, You know, we just brought in Josh Gordon, Devontae Adams, Garcon, Bolden. You know, it would be a great pick if he's still there in the second round, but I don't think it's worth the first round. I would like another running back to pair with Jerick McKinnon. There's clearly no guards that I'm drafting in the first round. We're okay at tackle. Then you go to the defense. You know, we could definitely use a defensive end. Could definitely use a safety. So the more and more I look at D and safety, what are the DNs looking like from this draft class? If I'm just throwing out the fact that I have to draft who and what where, Ngakoue in the third round, I'd be happy. Judon in the fifth. See, there's some busts here. It wasn't a great edge rushing class by any means. Sean Oakman, if we want to make things a little bit weird. What do we got at outside linebacker? We have some edge rushers that I'm missing on. Yeah. There's not a lot going on here for edge rush help. Jesus. Okay. So hopefully we can get someone like an Ngakoue in the third round. I'm gonna use some Gator bias here. We're gonna get Keanu Neal. It's probably not gonna be overpowered. 69. Oh no, it's not a great pick. 69 hidden dev, number 42. We got it at top 10. Goddamn Gator bias. That's not that bad of a pick though. Let's be honest. Even if I wasn't a Gator fan, 45% of you might have made that pick anyway at pick 10. Second round, it's really a toss-up between Ngakoue or Kevin Byard. I feel like because we so desperately need an edge rusher, we're going to have to go Yannick Ngakoue out of Maryland. And he comes out 72 hidden dev, number 11. So let's pretty much swap that with Keanu Neal, and we're ecstatic with our draft so far. We'll start to go back to playing on the rules. We're here in the third round, looking at who's still available. I don't really want to go past the third round. I was thinking about just saying screw it and getting Justin Simmons because we do need more safeties, but we also kind of need maybe a little bit younger at the tight end position. Jason Witten's not getting younger. Austin Hooper's still here in the third round. It's a guilt-free pick. We're going to get Austin Hooper out of Stanford. Oh, 66. Normal. Not good. I guess we straight up didn't have a fourth round pick, so now we're here in the fifth round. I'm going to just pretty much just pick whomever I want. I'm looking at D tackles. We got DJ Reader in the 6th, or there's also a guilt-free pick of Matt Ioannidis in the 5th. I think Ioannidis straight up is like the highest overall player on the Redskins this year in Madden 21. So given the fact I'm looking at this, we got 39 reps, DJ Reader, Matt Ioannidis, 30. We'll make it guilt-free. We'll get Ioannidis here out of Temple, 64 hidden dev. It's a good pick, 122 in true talent. I guess this is where our pick got traded. We have another 5th round selection. Can I actually get... Is DJ Reader gone? Of course he is. All right, so we're going to make our selection here. I mean, we got Cardale Jones. Don't really need a quarterback whatsoever. What's going on here in like the 7th round? What's a guy with like that's projected to at least be drafted? Come on, there are going to be some studs here. I'm not seeing any studs. Camus, former Eagle, Super Bowl champion. This is not what we're looking for. All right, screw that then. I'm gonna straight up I want another D tackle. We'll get Michael Pierce, D tackle at Stanford, 62. Kind of idea how I want to finish this draft. In the 6th round, we're gonna get the speedster, 7.6 combine grade out of Temple, Robbie Anderson. It's coming. Oh my God, 56. That's not good. Then we're going to finish up more. I mean, this is a tough one. I think Corey Littleton could be a solid pick, but I want to get Brian Poole. This was like a draft that I couldn't believe that like Robbie Anderson went undrafted. Couldn't believe Brian Poole went undrafted. So he's ready, might suck. He's a 60, but I'm happy to have more Florida Gators on my team. So draft recap. Obviously, we know what we picked. Happy with it, man. Keanu Neal, Yannick Ngakoue, Austin Hooper, Matt Ioannidis, Michael Pierce, Robbie Anderson, and Brian Poole. The ratings aren't too overpowered. Honestly speaking, I mean, a lot of these were guilt-free picks, really. Well, maybe not. Ioannidis and Austin Hooper were guilt-free picks, as well as Keanu Neal. Ngakoue's probably the best pick that we did have, especially because he's probably going to be... I mean, we're going to have 2 day 1 starters here. Keanu Neal will be our starter at strong safety. Ngakoue will be a starter at D-end. I mean, Hooper might get some snaps. He might be TE2 behind Jason Witten. But to get an idea of how the rest of the draft went for the rest of the NFL, we saw the first top 10 picks. Outside of the top 10... Conklin went to the Falcons. We got Tunsil going to Green Bay. William Jackson going to Cincinnati, actually as is, and he's a 75 overall. One of the highest rated players in this draft. Kenny Clark going to the Redskins. We got Jalen Smith going to the Marshals. Miles Jack to the Cardinals. Chris Jones to the Ravens. Xavier Howard to the Chargers. Jared Goff is now the play caller under center in New England. Hunter Henry going to the Hawaii Warriors. Michael Thomas, 75 overall in the second round, going to the Cleveland Browns. Derrick Henry, 71. Will Fuller. I mean, that would have been so good to have one of those top 5 picks in the second round. Look at that talent. Thomas, Henry, Fuller, Deion Jones, one after another. But I mean, I'm still happy that we got Ngakoue. Looking at the draft, Jalen Ramsey was number 1. Kevin Byard, we passed on the second player in the draft. 75 hit it dead to get Ngakoue, but I mean, we probably needed edge rusher more. But just to get an idea of like who's what in this draft, I don't know about Leonard Floyd getting a 74. Tyreek Hill was there in the 4th round. Could have got him. We definitely, who the hell did we draft in the 4th round instead of getting Tyreek Hill? What? How did that is an oversight of epic proportions. We didn't have a 4th round pick, so that means the 3rd round. We got Austin Hooper when we could have got Tyreek Hill. God damn it. God damn it. So that will do it. We got the offseason done. Our final team for Madden 20 Pink Slips has been unveiled. And here's where we're at. We're sitting as an 80 overall team, 83 offense, 77 defense. Kind of reminiscent of like really that Carolina team, the inverse. We were unable really for the draft. We didn't get any guards, which was kind of an L. We didn't get a running back to pair with Jerick McKinnon. Really only Derrick Henry was like the needle mover, and we were unable to get him in the 2nd round. But other than that, I'm happy with the offense. I think we're going to be able to score some points early. I don't know if we're going to be a prolific offense, but we should be effective. Eli Manning throws some checkdowns. We got 2 slot wide receivers here in Garcon Bolden and Devontae Adams and Josh Gordon. And we got Robbie Anderson at the bottom end of the depth chart. Got some speed. And then flipping to the defense, the weaker of the 2 units. I mean, we got Ngakoue, who'll be able to start as a rookie. Joe McCoy, solid. We'll get Zarius Smith here at D end, along with Trent Cole. It's a little bit of a rotation. Honey Badger, thank God. Thank God I got him. If we didn't get Honey Badger, I'd be regretting the fact that we didn't spend any money in free agency. Luckily, we got Honey Badger to pair with Kyle Fuller. Good 1-2 punch at corner. Jaquiski Tardy and Keanu Neal will be our starting safeties. David Harris, Luke Kuechly, and Jordan Hicks make up a linebacking core that's just, 2 youth guys and the veteran to pair with it. It's not too shabby. Actually, we can give Trent Cole a little bit more snaps there as a little bit of an outside linebacker. Special teams, feeling good. Seabass, Andy Lee. We got 5 years, man. We got 5 years. So the plan is we'll be back tomorrow. Episode 69 will be the first 2 years of this rebuild. And then on Tuesday will be the last 3 years. It's going to be, your traditional rebuild with some pink slips sprinkled in. Guess I'll have to figure out tonight how I want to, because I'm going to record these in advance. So it's not like I can pull the room and get some. I think what will be best is to, we have to keep it like pink slips. It wouldn't make any sense just to do a rebuild in the pink slips world. So game by game, we'll have to, adjust and see the scoring. So it's not tedious. I'm not going to go through maybe every single game. I might not just break down like, this is half a star. I feel like that over again is going to get incredibly repetitive. So for some games, I'll just be able to tell you this is I'll say for example, we got New England week 1. I'll sim it and then just say to you guys. So that, as you can see for the Patriots game, we won 28-24. It was a what-star victory. Something like that, a little bit more streamlined, so it's not just, uber repetitive and super tedious. If that makes sense to you guys, I think that's going to be the best direction for it, because if we're doing 5 years, I don't want to do 5 years of breaking down the pink slip scoring for every game. Obviously, if it's a huge game, if we make the playoffs, that's a little bit different of a story, because we'll probably hop in and actually get some gameplay, but that's how I'm kind of feeling about it. So, we're very close. 2 more episodes to go, but thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're happy with the decision to go back, make this thing full circle, returning to Houston. We're very, very close, though, to the end of Madden 20 here on the channel. Thank you for all the support. As always, the first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button on our way to 150,000. Will be cool if we can hit that sooner than later. Smash that like button if you are excited to finish things up with the Houston Oilers. Plus, it all helps me out in the old YouTube algorithm. And we'll be back tomorrow with episode 69. Nice! Where we get into the first 2 years of this finale. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.